Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Pay homage to the Blessed One. Dear friends, today July 5th, 2022 at Dhamma Sukha Meditation Center. I would like to deliver Dhamma talk from Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 2, Atthakanagara Sutta. The man from 52. Sutta number 52, Atthakanagara Sutta. The man from Atthakanagara. So that man, he was living in the place, the name of the Atthakanagara. So I'm going to read these suttas. In this sutta you will see all the jhanas. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. So I'm going to explain all of this. So let me read the sutta first and then I will give some comment. Thus have I heard on one occasion the Venerable Ananda was living at Veluva Gamaka near Visali. So thus have I heard. In the sutta, you will see most of the sutta, thus have I heard, thus have I heard. Who said that? This one said by the Ananda. So when the Buddha passed away, after 3 months, the first Buddhist council held in India. So Mahakassapa was the senior monk. So at that time, a monk whose name is he actually, when he got old, he got the higher ordinations. And when the Buddha saw something wrong, and he gave one discipline rule, and he saw another one, he gave another discipline rule, and he saw another one, another discipline rule. So that's why monks have 227 rules now, all the Buddhist monks. So when you get the higher ordination, you must know 227 rules before getting the higher ordination. So the guy who got who became the old and he got the higher ordinations, and Buddha said, okay, don't do that, don't do this. So when Buddha passed away, the monks who didn't get the attainment, they were crying. They said, our great teacher Bhante is leaving us, so we didn't get the attainment yet. So that time the monks who was old, he said, why are you crying? Because the Buddha is going to pass away. This is the great news for us. So we have the freedom. So whatever we want to do, we can do it. Then Mahakassapa, when he heard that word, he said, no. We have to purify the discipline rule of the Buddha. And then after 3 months, he called the Buddhist council, first Buddhist council in India. And Mahakassapa said, in this first Buddhist council, the 500 Arahant will be present. All of them Arahant. And Ananda must be present there. And Upali also, Upali was the Arahant that time, but Ananda didn't. He got the Sutapanna, stream mantra. So, as the Mahakassapa said, Ananda must be present. Tomorrow will be the first Buddhist council, and Ananda was thinking, what should I do? I am not Arahant yet. So he was thinking, okay, I have to practice meditation today. So whole day he was practicing meditation, and then whole night. So early morning he was thinking, I'm so tired now. Whole day, whole night, still I couldn't attain Arahant, the highest peace. So very mindfully he's going to sleep, just lying down slowly with just little bit touch with the pillow, then he got attainment. He became Arahant. So everybody present in the first Buddhist council, only one seat empty for Ananda. So everybody waiting for him. He was thinking, okay, well, how can I show that I became Arahant now? So that he went there and he said that chair, and everybody, everybody says sadhu. That means well done, well done, well done. Then in that first Buddhist council, Ananda said, because Ananda memorized all the Dhamma. Wherever Buddha went for giving Dhamma talk, so he went with him. And Ananda said, Bhante, I can be your attendance, but I have some condition. So what condition do you have? So wherever you'll go, you have to take me, because I have to listen to your Dhamma talk. And if I don't go there, after coming back at the temple, you have to preach again to me. Then I can be your attendance, otherwise no. He said, well, no problem, I will do that. So that's why all the Dhammas Ananda could memorize. In the first Buddhist council, he said, thus have I heard. So he heard from the Buddha in the first Buddha. That's why you'll see all the suttas at the beginning, thus have I heard, thus have I heard. Okay? So I heard on one occasion the Venerable Ananda was living at Veluva Gamaka near Visali. Now at that occasion, the householder Dasama of Atthakanagara had arrived at Pataliputta for some business or other. Then he went to a certain monk in a Kukuda's park, and after paying homage to him, he sat down to one side and asked him. So here is a householder, Dasama of Atthakanagara. He is the person who was very religious. He would like to know the teaching of the Buddha. So he went to one monk and he's asking, where is Venerable Ananda? Where is Venerable Ananda? So that monk said, you see, where is the Venerable Ananda live now? Venerable sir, I wish to see the Venerable Ananda. The Venerable Ananda is living at Veluva Gamaka near Visali householder. When the householder Dasama has completed his business at Pataliputta, he went to the Venerable Ananda and Veluva Gamaka near Visali. After paying homage to him, he sat down at one side and asked him. So now he is going to ask the teaching of the Buddha. He will ask the few questions, then Venerable Ananda is going to answer. Venerable Ananda, has any one things been proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accompanied and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent, and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed things come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So this is Atthakanagara. Dasama Atthakanagara asks these questions. Now Venerable Ananda is going to answer. Yes, Venerable, yes, householder, one such thing has been proclaimed by the Blessed One. What is that one thing, Venerable Ananda? So now he is going to explain jhanas, all the jhanas. So before explaining the jhana, I would like to say, what is the meaning of the jhana? We have to understand the meaning first. The jhana means the stage of meditation or level of understanding. So I use the stage of meditation because this is very clear to me. So stage of meditation. So there are 4 kinds of jhanas: first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. So Venerable Ananda is now going to explain the first jhana. So when I teach to the meditators at the beginning, I teach the 6 R's and then 5 hindrances. So I want all of them to know 5 hindrances. What are the 5 hindrances? So number 1, sensual desire. Number 2, aversion. Number 3, sleepiness and dullness. You can see the Majjhima Nikaya, Slot and Topper, but I use sleepiness and dullness. And number 4, restlessness and anxiety. And number 5, doubt. So these 5 hindrances you must memorize. You must keep in your mind. This is the first thing. And the second thing, you have to know the 6 R's. What we use usually is called right effort. But I always say harmonious practice, because we are harmony with us. I am the practitioner, so I am the harmonious with me. So these 2 things you have to know. One is the 5 hindrances, another one is the harmonious practice or 6 R's, right effort. Here, householder, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, among enters upon and abides in the first jhana, which is accompanied by thinking and examining thought, with joy and happiness born of seclusion. So here you see the 5 factors. We call in Pali thinking thought, savitaka, examining thought, savichara. Then so joy, priti, happiness, sukha, and unification of mind. We call ekagata. So these 5 factors, when arise in your mind, the 5 hindrances absent, not rise in your mind, so you'll think that you attain first jhana. So I repeat again. Thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. When these 5 factors arise in your mind, 5 hindrances never arise. Sensual desire, aversion, sleepiness and dullness, restlessness and anxiety, doubt never arise. So you attain first jhana. You don't need to go to Delson. Okay, my teacher, did I attain first jhana? Can you tell me? No need to ask. You will know yourself, because in this sutta is very clear. You will understand yourself. So sa means wholesome. Sa means wholesome. So that's why I use the Pali term also. Savitaka, thinking thought, savichara, examining thought, joy, priti, happiness, sukha, and unification of mind. So most of the meditators ask me, Bhante, what is the difference between joy and happiness? sometimes very confused, you know. So when I was teaching in Brooklyn, in other places, you know, they asked me that questions. So joy means excited. You feel so excited, delighting when you practice. You feel that. And happiness means you feel so comfortable, light. You know, when you practice 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes you'll feel that, oh, my mind and whole body look so wonderful, so good. I never experienced that feeling before. This is Sukha. Okay? So he consider this and understand it thus. The first jhana is conditioned and intentionally produced. But whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. So this is the first jhana. If he is steady in that, he attains the distractions of the taints. So this sentence is very important. So when you attain the first jhana, if he is steady in that, you have potential to attain nibbana in the first jhana. So in this sutta is very clearly mentioned that, right? But if he doesn't attain the distraction of the taint because of the desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, that means if you have little bit craving in your mind, you'll attain anagami, the non-returner, but you will not attain arahant. So that's why it's in this sutta said. Then with the distractions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one to the reappear as spontaneously in the pure abodes. So pure abodes means the one of the realm in the Brahma world. It's called Suddhavasa. So when you become anagami, attain the once returner, when you passed away, you will reborn in the Suddhavasa realm. It's called pure abodes. So that place, that realm, you will attain nibbana. You'll never come back in human world, in heaven. So from there you'll go to nibbana. You will attain nibbana. So what is the meaning of the nibbana? Ni plus vana. Nir plus vana, we call in the Sanskrit. Delson know very well Sanskrit, I don't know very well. I know Pali and I didn't study Sanskrit actually. So in Pali we call nibbana. In Sanskrit, nirvana. So nir plus vana. Nir means no. Vana means craving or fire. No fire at all in your mind. No craving in your mind. So when you attain arahantship, the highest peace, no greed, no hatred, no delusion in your mind. So you feel happiness, peace all the time. So according to the scripture, Buddhist scripture, there are 2 kinds of nirvana. One is sa upadisesa nibbana. Another one is the anupadisesa nibbana. So sa upadisesa nibbana means when you become arahant in this very life, especially the lay people, when you become arahant, you have to get the high ordination within 7 days. Why? Because this robe, this is called the arahatta dhaja, the flag of the arahant. This is very powerful, you know. So when you attain the arahantship in this as a human, as a lay person, within 7 days, if you don't get the higher ordination, you will pass away. Because the arahata qualities is very, very strong. So if you get the higher ordination, then you will find. So that moment, you will feel so happiness, so peace. That one is called saupadisesa nibbana. You will feel that, you will enjoy the saupadisesa nibbana. You are still alive. When you passed away, then you will feel another happiness, another peace. That one is called anupadisesa nibbana, after passing away. Right? So you got the meaning of the nibbana and two kinds of nibbana. This is according to the scripture, according to the Buddhist scripture. So when you get anagami, two things will destroy completely from your mind. One is the greed, another one is the hatred, aversion. No hatred at all, no greed at all in your mind. Just little bit craving, because here in this sutta said, because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then the distractions of the five lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes, and there attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. He will never return from there. So he or she attain nibbana, that place, Suddhavasa, in the Brahma world. This is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed taints come to be destroyed, and he attained the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before, he had not experienced before. So this is the first jhana, right? So it's become very clear, right? First jhana. Now he is going to explain, Venerable Ananda, about the second jhana. Again, with this stealing of thinking and examining thought, a monk enters upon and abides in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and stillness of mind, with a thinking and examining thought, with joy, happiness, born of collectedness. So when you attain the second jhana, thinking and examining thought stop arising. Thinking and examining thought will not arise anymore. So how many characteristics will arise? 3. Joy, happiness, and unification of mind. So even that time, 5 hindrances will not arise. If 5 hindrances arise, you drop from the second jhana, or you drop from the first jhana. So what do you have to do? You have to use the 6 R's. Recognize it, release it, relax, tension and tightness in your head, and in the whole body and mind. The Buddha explained in the Satipatthana Sutta, it's called Sutta number 10 from Majjhima Nikaya, the 4 foundation of mindfulness. When I saw this one, they relax, you see. So relax in Pali you call pasambaya. So pasambaya, you'll see the Majjhima Nikaya Sutta number 10, translation tranquilize. So what does mean tranquilize? Tranquilize means relax. I practiced 14 years in Burma and Thailand. I never heard this word. I never heard. Just I practiced the Mahasi Center and other places. They said, okay, well, sit down, close your eyes, and when you feel that pain arise, you are very lucky. You are very fortunate. Just you focus pain, 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 until pain disappear. But pain never go away. It's become strong, stronger. And I could sit only 1 hour. And nobody said, okay, please sit on the chair. Nobody said that. Everybody have to sit on the floor. So I cannot sit more than 1 hour because my knees become very, very strong pain, So when I came here after 14 years, I was searching a good teacher, listening the Dhamma talk from the YouTube. And I first time then listening to Dhamma talk from the different teachers, and I heard from the Bhante talk. Then I wake up. Oh, what he's talking about? And I was thinking that he's reading just a sutta. This is not a Dhamma talk. And first time, second time, third time, when I listened, and he's give the beautiful comment, very good comment. Then I contact with David. David, I want to come. Okay. He said, okay, let me talk with the Bhante. See. Then he talked with Bhante. Bhante allowed me, and I came here, and I became very friendly. So I am the person who is smiling all the time. That's why you see my picture is there. You see? So one guy came from Chicago. He said, Bhante, I never see the monks always happy like you. So here, smiling is the most important. When I came here, I asked the Bhante many times, why are you talking about smiling? Buddha never said to smile. But Buddha said, bring up the wholesome thought. Bring up the wholesome thought. How? When you smile, you feel in your mind. Your mind is so pure, clear, and light. So that way you understand this smiling is really work. Some students, say that, Bhante, when I practice loving kindness meditations, I cannot bring it. When I came here and I sat that place, the corner, the chair, one sitting 4 hours, never moved. And then another guy, he came from Hong Kong, he was there. I still remember. And he saw me. Wow, that Bhante never moved. He slept only 4 hours. And another bhikkhuni came from Australia. And they were talking, and then I break up my meditation. I told him, what are you doing here? I am practicing meditation. So you should go out and talk. She said, no, Bhante, he cannot practice meditation. What happened? He said, he cannot bring up the loving kindness. It's very difficult for him. Well, you should go to the Bhante. He'll teach you. He said, he gave me the forgiveness meditation. Even forgiveness meditation, I cannot improve. I decided to leave. I'll go back tomorrow. He said, hey, calm down. Can you tell me how do you practice forgiveness meditation? He said, when I close my eyes, I remember my ex-wife and then how I am fighting with her. This is not the way to this is not the way to practice the forgiveness meditation. Okay, let me teach you. So we went to the dining hall, took the tea, everyone, and I told him, okay, when you was very good friend with your girlfriend, so you went to the restaurant, you took the food together, or you went somewhere, so try to bring out the happy feeling. Your girlfriend smiled with you. She was very friendly with you. Bring up that feeling to your mind and forgive her. My friend, my ex-girlfriend, be happy. I forgive you. You forgive me. Just do it that way. I forgive myself. You forgive me. I forgive you. You forgive me. So, do continuously. Within 10 minutes, his meditation developed very quickly, and I went to the restroom, and he came immediately. He said, Bhante, I got it. What happened? He said, what you taught me is really worked now. Then he didn't leave. He continued practice 10 days, I think. He came here 10 days or 12 days or maybe 15 days. He finished his retreat. And I told him, well, this is the good sign. Go to the Bhante. Tomorrow he'll change your meditation. He'll give the loving kindness. And then he went for interview for Bhante, and then Bhante changed his meditations. So this is the practical things that happen at this center. Right? So when you attain the second jhana, you'll have the self-confidence. This meditation really worked. So I should not leave. So that guy didn't leave. He was so upset. No, I came from Hong Kong. I want to leave tomorrow. I'll go to David, I want to leave. So he was so angry. Please calm down. Come out. I call him and then go outside and explain him. So that's why sometimes you have to be very patient. If you when you practice meditation here, so everything go away about your family, about your job, other things, just let it go. Just you came here for 10 days retreat, just do it. I always thought that because I stayed here about 4 months continuously at this center. Before rainy retreat, I was thinking that, okay, I came from far away, 2 hours flight, 2 hours drive, and then I arrive here. So I have to practice meditation. So that time I didn't establish meditation center in New York. So I'm going to give my card to all of you after my talk, so that you can visit my center in New York. So that time I was free. I was staying at the Cambodian temple in Bronx. So what you have to do, you have to know 5 hindrances very clearly and then 6 very clearly. Keep in your mind. When 5 hindrances, anyone arise, use the harmonious practice. Aversion, sleep, sensual desire arise, use the harmonious practice, the 6 hours. And aversion arise, is the 6 hours. And then sleepiness, dullness arise, is the 6 hours there. And then restlessness and anxiety arise, is the 6 hours. Doubt arise, is the 6 hours. So doubt, what does it mean, doubt? What our teacher Delson is teaching here is not the right things. What the Buddha said, this is not the right things. It doesn't work. So if any doubt, what the karma, you don't believe that. Some people they don't believe. In this country, most of the people, no religion, but they want to practice meditation. They want to get the inner peace. So that's why when the people come, you see in this center, some people have other religions. Most of them no Buddhist. Even my center, many people come, they have another religion. So I told them, you human being, I'm also a human being. So you practice this meditation, try to experience. You no need to think, okay, this is Buddhist meditation, this is Christian meditation, this is other meditation. No, don't think that way. Think we are human being. That's why Buddha said, Ehi Passiku, come and see. He welcomed everyone. Everyone can come and see my teaching, my Dhamma. And please try to understand. When you understand it, practice it. After practicing, when you get the truth, experiences within yourself, then you can continue. You can continuously practice. So when you attain the second jhana, you will have the self-confidence. Okay, this meditation is real work. I have to continue. I have to practice it. So, thinking and examining thought stop rising. Only joy, happiness, and unification of mind arise. Three characteristics in your mind. Sensual, the five hindrances don't arise. Then you attain second jhana. Right? If he consider this and understand it thus, the second jhana is conditioned and intentionally produced. This second jhana is conditioned and intentionally produced, but whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. Everything is impermanent. Whatever rising and disappearing, rising and disappearing, rising and cease, So, if you think that, okay, my mind should be here, don't move, your mind never listen to you. There is no control. You cannot control it. It's automatically arising, but you have to know. Okay, you have just watch it, and you have to understand. And how is passing away. So when you know that, everything is impermanent. So I am going to explain later on here. If he is steady in that, he attains the distractions of the 10. That means when you attain the second jhana, if you steady in that position, in that jhana, you have potential to attain nibbana there. Okay? But if he does not attain the distraction of the 10th, because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then the distractions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes, and they attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. That means if you don't attain nibbana there, so you will become anagami, non-returner. So again, when you passed away, you reborn Suddhavasa, the pure abodes, and there you let in nibbana. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent, resolute, his unliberated mind becomes to be liberated, his undestroyed taints come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So this is the second jhana, right? The second jhana also very clear. So when you attain first jhana and you continue doing, continue practicing, then you will see that thinking and examining thought not arising, joy, happiness and unification mind arise. You will know yourself. This is the characteristic of the second jhana. So you will understand yourself. I attain the second jhana now. So that time, please don't announce to anyone. Only you can share to the teacher. See, if you share, hey, I got now second jhana. I am so happy now. So you're proud too much. Maybe you cannot, if you do that. To others who never practice meditation, who never have experiences about the second jhana, they will not understand what he's talking about. I don't know. He said he attained second jhana. So that way, you will not be able to progress your meditation. The pride arises in your mind. The pride is one of the hindrances. It's not good things. So what do you have to do? That time you have to use again the 6 R's. So the 6 R's or harmonious practice, you have to use again and again, again and again, again and again, until you attain Arahant. When you become Arahant, the highest peace, your job finished. No need to do anymore. No need to use the 6 R's. Okay? So you got the second jhana. Now we are going to talk about the third jhana. Again, with the fading away of joy, among abides in equanimity, mindful and fully aware, still feeling happiness with the body, he enters upon and abided in the third jhana, on account of which noble ones announce. When you attain the third jhana, joy stops arising. Joy will not arise. So you have 2 characteristics that time. One is the happiness, and another one is the unification of mind. So that time also, hindrances will not arise. Only happiness and unification of mind. Then you know, okay, I am in the third jhana right now. Right? He has a pleasant abiding who has the equanimity and is mindful. So your mindful will be more sharper than before. More clear than before. He considered this and understand it thus. The third jhana is conditioned and intentionally produced. But whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. Everything is impermanence, is passing away. I cannot control anything. There is no control. If you can control, you can attain the nibbana within short time. Oh, I can control. Mind never listen to you. Mind is like monkey. It's run everywhere. You see, some people told me, Bhante, when I practice meditation, my mind go everywhere. I cannot control. What should I do? So here one thing we have to know that when we practice meditation, hindrances arise again and again, again and again, again and again. Why? But some people, when they close their eyes and within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they can develop their meditation very, very well. So some people cannot, even few seconds. They cannot control their mind. They cannot focus in their meditation. Hindrances arise again and again. Use the 6 R's, arising 6 R's, arising 6 R's. Because in the past we broke the precept. So that's why. So I give him today. I ordained him actually, and I gave him new name, Metta. So he will give you the 8 precept. So what is the meaning of Metta? Metta means loving kindness. Metta plus Ananda. Ananda means enjoy. So one who enjoy the loving kindness is called Mettananda. Beautiful name, right? So he gave every morning 8 precept. So when you in the retreat, please don't break up the precept. If you break up, go to him. Atthakanagara, please give me 8 precepts again. I broke up 1 precept. Then he will give you again. So that way you will not feel guilty. Okay, when you feel the guilty, what will you feel? For example, you are practicing meditation, one sitting 2 hours, 3 hours. So when you think that, oh, I broke up one precept, you will not be able to sit even 30 minutes. You feel restless. Hindrances arise again and again, because you already know you broke up the precept. So that's why you have to be purified again. So all the every meditation center, we talk about, keep the precept first. In the Buddhist scripture, we call dana, giving generosity, sila, morality, or keep the precept, and bhavana is called meditation. So, giving generosity, why we are doing that? Our mind very strong of craving, very, very strong. So when you give up something, then all your craving will reduce slowly. Your greed will reduce slowly. And second things, you keep the precept. That means you purify your mind. You understand your mind is so clear, so pure, very clean. Then you practice meditation, you will see your meditation will progress very, very fast, very quickly. That's why the precept is most important at the meditation center. So whenever we teach to the others, please keep the precept. Don't break the precept. The precept is very, very important. So, in the third jhana, the same things, you see the repetition a lot here. Why did the Buddha repeat, first time, second time, third time? Why? In the suttas, you'll find that. Repetition, first time, second time, third time. Because during the Buddha's time, the Buddha was teaching to the uneducated people, to the farmer, and to the some people who never have education. He used very simple language. First time he delivered talk to them, they couldn't catch it. And second time he said again, they understood little bit. And third time he said again, it's become clear. And they became three mantra. Sutapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, even Arahant. You see? That's why you'll see most of the suttas in Majjhima Nikaya, Samyutta Nikaya, he repeat one time, he said one time, and second time again repeat, third time again he said. So this is the reason, every sutta you will get it. So if he is steady in that, he attains the destruction of the attains. But if he does not attain the destruction of the attain because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then with the destructions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one due to the reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes, and they attain the final nibbana without ever returning from that world. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk avoids diligent, ardent and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undisturbed attains come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage he had not attained before. So this is the third jhana. When you study on that, you have potential to attain nibbana there. Okay? Now he's talking about the fourth jhana. So you got now 3 jhanas already, become very clear, right? So you have to know all those jhanas, If you know very clearly, you can, when you finish the retreat here, you go back at your home, you can practice at your home, in your room, you practice yourself. Oh, now every day I usually practice early morning. Early morning is the best. Everybody quiet, just wake up early morning and practice at least 1 hour. So this practice not less than 30 minutes. Some people say, okay, I practice only 5 minutes. No, not enough. 5 minutes not enough. My center in New York, when people come during the ceremony, because that center is Brahma Vihara Meditation Center, loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So I given that center name Brahma Vihara Meditation Center, because when I was here, my cabin named Brahma Vihara, so I took from here to New York. So now that cabin Niruddha. No more Brahma Vihara. So people come, a lot of people, about 100 people, and then I gave some religious services to them. And I told them, okay, well, everybody close your eyes. You have to practice meditation now. Then they're closed. And they don't know what they are doing. So I give some instruction to them. When they close their eyes, okay, remember a time when you were happy. When that happy feeling arises at the center of your chest, you feel warm and glowing feeling. Then you make wish. May I be happy. May I be calm. May I be peaceful. May I be full of joy. May I be content, and so on. Whatever you want to intend, you can make wish, you can radiate to yourself. So it doesn't mean that you just memorize it like words and then you repeat again. No, don't do that. When you are radiating to yourself, you have to feel it. And you have to smile all the time. Some people say that, Bhante, loving kindness is not rising in my mind. What should I do? That means you are not smiling. So you have to smile more. Then you will see loving kindness will arise in your mind. More you smile, more you can develop your loving kindness. Otherwise, no. So every Friday, my center have a retreat at 7 p.m. So some people come, hi, hello. Their face look like full of anger. Okay, how are you? I am fine. Okay, come. So I smile. Even I smile with them, but they are not so smiling. So, but I give the talk 30 minutes to them. And I told them, okay, well, you come here for practicing meditation, you have to smile. I don't want you to like angry face, I don't want to see that. So when 30 minutes talk and 30 minutes practice and 30 minutes Q&A, so when they leave, big smile arises in their face. So that's why the smiling is the most important here. Feeling and smiling. you have to feel how you are radiating loving kindness to yourself. If you don't feel, that means you are not following our instruction. You are not following my instruction. So when you feel that, when you radiate loving kindness to yourself, you see how radiation is going on. You'll experience that. 10 minutes only. 10 minutes you radiate loving kindness to yourself, and you must feel that with a smile. And then after 10 minutes, you have to choose a spiritual friend. So some people say, Bhante, how can I find a spiritual? I don't have anyone. And I told them, okay, you can choose me. I'm the spiritual person. You can choose Bhante. Oh, that is the good things. Yeah. I can choose you. Yeah. Okay, then one guy said, Bhante, when I radiate loving kindness to you, I saw that you are smiling very much. You see? Your face appeared in front of me. This is a good sign, right? So, when you radiate loving kindness to yourself, if you still cannot bring loving kindness, remember that when you are talking with your friend, you smile with your friend. Who? You. You smile with your friend. Bring up that smile in the center of your chest. And when you feel that, your warm and glowing feeling, you feel here, then you will start radiating loving kindness to yourself. Then when you radiate to your spiritual friend, okay, you did already, 10 minutes done. How do you understand? Because you close your eyes. You didn't see that clock, right? So how do you understand? You just guess it. Okay, now 10 minutes done. So now, after 10 minutes, I have to radiate loving kindness to a spiritual friend. So those who are men, choose the men. Those who are women, choose the women. Why? Because you are the beginner. So when you choose the women, the 5 hindrances, among the 5 hindrances, anyone can arise again and again, again and again. So that's the way your meditation will not develop very well. So choose only men. When you attain the 4th jhana, then you can choose your wife, you can choose your girlfriend, you can choose your mom, your sister, no problem. Your family members. So this practice, at the beginning, when you choose the spiritual friend, no any family member. That will be your best friend, your close friend, who really help you, who really like you. Choose that person. If you cannot find, just remember Bhante. Just remember Metta, right? A spiritual friend. So that way you can develop your meditations well. So when you radiate loving kindness to the spiritual friend, your friend smile with you. Bring up that feeling, the center of your chest. When you feel warm and glowing feeling, the center of your chest, then you start radiating loving kindness to your spiritual friend. May my friend be happy. May my friend be calm. May my friend be full of joy. May my friend be content. You see how your radiation is going to your friend. You feel that. How his radiation is spreading to him. So yesterday, what is her name? She asked these questions. when I radiate loving kindness to my friend, how he or she understand? Let me give you one example. After practicing here at Dhamma Sukha Meditation Center, when I returned back in New York, I chose a spiritual friend, one Cambodian monk, with whom I live. He's very kind and very respectful for person, He's like my elder brother. And I bring up his face, his smiling face in front of me, and I started radiating loving kindness to him. When I returned back to New York, and I said, Bhante, I choose you as a spiritual friend, and I started radiating loving kindness to you. Did you feel it? He said, yeah, I feel that. I felt that. He said it. I don't know how did he feel it, but I just asked him. He said, I felt it. And now you look very different. So this is the two examples. Yesterday I gave one example, today another example, right? So when you radiate loving kindness to a spiritual friend, so you'll see this is the good for you and good for your spiritual friend. And also you will attain the jhana. So jhana is, if you don't continue practice, you may drop. So you have to again practice. Then it will come again pretty quickly. Right? So this is the third jhana. Now I am going to explain the fourth jhana. Again, with the abandoning of pleasure and pain, with the previous disappearance of joy and grief, a monk enters upon abides in the fourth jhana, which has never pain, nor pleasure, and purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. He considered this and understand it thus. Again, he is going to repeat the same sentence. The fourth jhana is conditioned and intentionally produced. But whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. If he is steady in that, he attains the distractions of the attains. That means, if you study in the fourth jhana, you have potential to attain nibbana there. You see? But if he does not attain the distractions of the attain because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then with the distractions of the five lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in pure abodes. And they attain final nibbana with ever returning from that world. So again he attained anagami and reborn in the Suddhavasa realm, Brahma world, and there he attained nibbana. If you have little bit craving, then with the distraction, this too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides in diligent, ardent, resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed attains come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So here one thing he explained very clearly. A monk abides diligent, ardent and resolute. That means you have to practice continuously. Every day. So if you think, okay, I went to Dhamma Sukha, I did a 10 days retreat, done. I became Sotapanna, I attained the jhanas. No need to do anymore. So if you think that way, you'll never attain nibbana. So he has said, a monk abides diligent, ardent, resolute. Please practice continuously, even if you go back at home. At least 1 hour, right? At least 1 hour. So, when you attain the fourth jhana, you'll see your feeling here not anymore. Your friend, it will go top of your head. You'll experience that. Some people think, where is my feeling? I cannot feel anymore here. But if you look at, you pay attention very clearly, your feeling is not here. Well, but it's going to top of your head. Some people can experience when they practice walking meditation. So how do you practice walking meditation? You sit here 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 minutes, radiate loving kindness to yourself, and 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours, you radiate loving kindness to a spiritual friend. So when you break up and then you went outside, so how do you do? How do you practice walking meditation? You walk normal pace. Don't look at left side, don't look at right side. 2 hands away. Just look at there and walk normal pace. Stay with a spiritual friend. Radiate loving kindness to a spiritual friend that time when you are practicing walking meditation. You have to stay with your spiritual friend. You are taking shower, whatever activities you are doing, stay with the spiritual friend. So this practice all the time. Not only just only come here and then you sit, practice, and when you go outside, no mindful, not like that. All the time, whatever activities you are doing. So when you come back again, and again sit, radiate loving kindness 10 minutes to yourself, and then the rest of time to a spiritual friend. Right? So some people, when they do walking meditation outside, their mind, their feeling is not here. They feel that their feeling is here. That means they attain the fourth jhana. You see? So that's why some people cannot attain fourth jhana or first jhana, second jhana, third jhana when they do sitting meditation. But when they practice walking meditation, they can get it. It's different other people, you know. So when you think that your feeling is not here in the center of your chest, it's already go top of your head, then you wait in that moment, that time, your mind will be so balanced, you know, the more equanimity arises in your mind. So that time, you will be the advanced meditator. So when you become advanced meditator, then how do you practice? You do the same things? No. Will change your meditation. So you have to do the sixth direction. So Buddha always talked to the monks about the Brahma Vihara. He started from the sixth direction. Because those monks are advanced meditators. You know? So when you practice loving kindness, through the loving kindness meditation, you can attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. When you become advanced meditator, you attain the fourth jhana, then we change your meditation. You have to practice six direction. So forward, we call the 1 quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. Do you listen that? So what does it mean 1 quarter? 1 quarter means you radiate loving kindness forward. may all living beings, it's from here, because your feeling is not here, right? It's feeling from, your feeling is here. May all living beings be happy, peaceful, free from suffering. Then you see your radiation will go from here to the forward. You'll see it will go slowly, but not too fast. Okay? Don't be in a hurry. Everything is, you have to follow the middle way. Majjhima padipada. Middle way. You see? Just radiate, and you see how your radiation is going on forward. It's called 1 quarter. Second quarter from that side, back side. Third quarter from here, left side. It will go directly that way. And fourth quarter, right side, from here it will go that way. Above, from here go up, below, go down. And then all direction. So how do you practice the all direction meditation? Even me, I was very confused. I went to David, tell me how to do all direction meditation. I don't know. He said, well, remember candle. Okay, so when you light the candle, so candle is lighting the all direction light. Yeah, this is a very good example. I follow that. It's really work. And I bring up the candle in front of me. The all radiation is going to all directions. It's so beautiful. Okay, so do that way. So you'll see when you do the all direction like that, your radiation will be expansion from here to go all directions slowly. So when you practice that, your loving kindness meditation, because you are still practicing loving kindness, it will change automatically into karuna, compassion. Right? So how do you understand your meditation from loving kindness? It changes automatically to the compassion. You feel that your mind will be so soft, like cotton. You feel that. And then you feel like you are on the sky, like on the ocean. See, you sit down, you don't feel nobody at all, only mind. So that stage called the base of infinite space. The base of infinite space. So that time you understand that this is the characteristic of the compassion. Your meditation already changed from loving kindness to the compassion. So you just, that time you radiate 6 direction again, compassion, forward, 1 quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, above, below, and all direction. Exactly the same. Do the compassion. So when you do that, actually everything is here, but I know all these things, that's why I'm not reading here. Okay? So that way, okay, let me read. Again, a monk avoid perverting 1 quarter with a mind imbued with loving kindness, likewise the 2nd, likewise the 3rd, likewise the 4th. So I already explained that, right? You understood? So above, below, around, and everywhere, and to all as to himself, he avoids perverting the all-encompassing world with a mind imbued with loving kindness, abundant, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility and without ill. He consider this and understand it thus. This is the deliverance of mind through loving kindness is conditioned and intentionally produced. But whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. If he is steady in that, he attains the destructions of the attains. But if he does not attain the destruction of the attains because of that desire for the Dhamma, the delight in the Dhamma, then with the destructions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes, and they attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent, resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed attains come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage, and he had not attained it before. So that one I already explained that. So when your meditation will change. Actually, this is still loving kindness. And what I explained earlier, that one is the next. A monk's abide pervading 1/4 with a mind imbued with compassion. So your meditation will change into the compassion. Likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth. So if you know how to radiate the 6th direction, loving kindness, compassion easy. The same way you just radiate compassion. You just feel that. That time, no form, only mind. You feel that. So I don't say that one is the 5th jhana, 6th jhana, 7th jhana, 8th jhana. In the suttas, you'll find 1st jhana, 2nd jhana, 3rd jhana, 4th jhana. So I say ayatana in Pali. Ayatana means space. Space. The base of infinite space. The base of infinite consciousness. The base of nothingness. The base of neither perception nor non-perception. So we call in Pali akasa nansayatana, the base of infinite space, the base of infinite consciousness, vinyana ayatana, we call this one. And then the base of nothingness, akinchina ayatana. And the last one is neither perception nor non-perception. So when you practice the karuna, compassion, the 6th direction, like the loving kindness, so you'll see that your meditation will develop from that stage to the base of infinite consciousness. So how do you understand that? You will see the consciousness, the series of the consciousness. You may see little bit the dependent originations, what the Delson explained yesterday. You can see the link of dependent origination. The consciousness, the series of the consciousness, you'll see is rising, passing away, rising, passing away, rising, passing away. It's very quickly. Then you'll feel that, wow, I am not saying to rise. It's rising, and it's a strong joy will rise in your mind. That's why it's called, this is the joy meditation. Karuna is called compassion, right? Mudita in Pali, joy. So that is the base of infinite consciousness we call mudita. So mudita means joy. So you'll see, uplifted joy will rise in your mind. That joy is not the same what you attain the 1st jhana, 2nd jhana, 3rd jhana and 4th jhana. This is the uplifted joy. So you feel that. Then you see, wow, this consciousness, how is it rising, passing away, arising, passing away, arising, passing away. Then in your mind you feel that everything is impermanent. There is nothing control here. I cannot control anything. Okay, stop. Don't arise. Never listen. Everything is impermanence and passing away. Arising, passing away. Arising, passing away. So when your mind is more sharper, then you may see the dependent origination that time. So that stage is called the base of infinite consciousness, mudita. Right? So when you think that, okay, now I am the stage of mudita, I am the stage of the joy, the base of infinite consciousness. So what do you have to do? Again you do the 6 direction mudita meditation. Joy meditation, 6 direction, forward, backward, left side, right side, above, below, and all direction. When you do that, then you'll see you're practicing. When your mind just little bit unbalanced, just watching that time, just use the 6 hours, harmonious practice. Practicing. Then you'll see that you'll not see anything there. Buddha said the base of nothingness, right? You'll not see anything. Everything empty. Then, the meditator, they think that, okay, I sit 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but I cannot see anything. I should break up meditation because I cannot see anything. It doesn't work. Then break up and then go away. Let me explain you one thing. This is very funny actually. I practice meditation in my cabin. Right now, Niruddha cabin. I wake up at 3 a.m. and I start practicing meditation from 4 to 7, 4 hours. When I was practicing, I couldn't see anything. 4 hours gone, couldn't see anything. And I broke up my meditation. And after finishing breakfast, I went to Bhante, how about your meditation? My meditation not so good. What happened? I woke up at 3 a.m. and I started practicing from 4 to 7. So I couldn't see anything, so I broke up. Don't do that next time. He said, why? What happened? This is the good sign for you. Buddha already said here, the base of nothingness, right? Yeah, well, he said, so what? Just watching your mind. You should not do next time like that. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, read the sutta again and practice continuously. Okay. I never forget that. He scolded me. So that's why when you attain that stage, just watching your mind, just watching. So when your mind is little bit unbalanced, just use the 6 hours there. Then you again watching your mind, even though nothing exists, it's okay, no problem. Still just watching. So from that stage, you may attain the base of neither perception nor non-perception. So that time, feeling, perception, a feeling, perception, yes, and consciousness, we call vedana, perception, sanya, and consciousness, vijnana. These 3 things stop arising. Everything has stopped. then you feel the huge, strong joy will rise in your mind that you never experienced before. Right? You never experienced before. This is the first time. So that joy is called the noble joy. So that time you will be Sotapanna, the path of extreme mantra. So that joy, it will 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months to be with you, you see. So when you continuously practice, you see, you will experience that. So these are called Brahma Vihara. Metta, loving kindness. So through the loving kindness meditation, you can attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. And then karuna, compassion, no form. Mudita, joy, the base of infinite consciousness, only mind. And the base of nothingness, upekka. And the last one is the base of neither perception nor non-perception. So you got a Brahma Vihara, right? Loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So that's why we are practicing loving Brahma Vihara here, everyone. So here Buddha said, again among words pervading 1/4 with a mind imbued with loving compassion, likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth, so above, below, around, and everywhere, to all as to himself, he avoids pervading the all-encompassing world with a mind imbued with compassion, abandoned, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility and without ill. He considered this and understand it thus. This deliverance of mind through compassion is conditioned and intentionally produced. But what is conditioned and intentionally produced? He is impermanent, subject to cessation. If he is steady in that, he attains the distraction of the attain. That means even though in the compassion, when you practice, if you steady in that, you have potential to attain nibbana there, that stage. But if he does not attain the distraction of the attain because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then with the distractions of the five lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes. And they attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent, and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed attains come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So these are the karuna, right? And now he is going to explain mudita. Again among words pervading 1/4 with a mind imbued with loving kindness, likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth. You see, the same things. So above, below, around, and everywhere, to all as to himself, he avoids pervading the all-encompassing world with a mind imbued with joy, abandoned, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility and without ill will. He considered this and understand it thus. This deliverance of mind through joy is conditioned and intentionally produced. But whatever is conditioned and intentionally produced is impermanent, subject to cessation. If he is steady in that, he attains the distractions of the ten. Even the base of infinite consciousness, if you study in that, you have potential to attain nibbana, that stage. But if it does not attain the destruction of the taints because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then with the destructions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in Suddhavasa, pure abodes, Brahma world, and they attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. He will attain the anagami. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and fully enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed mind come to be destroyed, and he attained the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So this is the mudita, right? I will explain that. Now, Venerable Ananda is going to explain upekka, equanimity. Again, a monk about perverting 1 quarter with a mind imbued with equanimity. Likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth. So above, below, around, and everywhere, and to all as to himself, he averts perverting the all-encompassing world with a mind imbued with equanimity, abandoned, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility and without will. He considers this and understands it thus: this deliverance of mind through equanimity is conditioned and intentionally produced. If he is steady in that, he attains the destructions of the taints. So you see, when he attains the base of nothingness, if he is steady in that, he has potential to attain nibbana there. But if he does not attain the destruction of the taint because of that desire for the Dhamma, that delight in the Dhamma, then with the destructions of the 5 lower fetters, he becomes one due to reappear spontaneously in the pure abodes. That means again in the Suddhavasa, in Brahma world. So he become anagami, and he'll reborn there, and from there he can attain nibbana. And they attain final nibbana without ever returning from that world. This too is one thing proclaimed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, accomplished and finally enlightened, wherein if a monk abides diligent, ardent and resolute, his unliberated mind comes to be liberated, his undestroyed taints come to be destroyed, and he attains the supreme security from bondage that he had not attained before. So this is the base of nothingness. It's called upekka. So you got now Brahma Vihara, right? Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka, loving kindness, compassion, joy and equanimity. When the Venerable Ananda had spoken, the householder Dasama of Atthakanagara said to him, the householder was very happy. He knew all the jhanas. He understood very clearly. Wow, I have to give something to him. I have to offer some special to him, to Venerable Ananda. Venerable Ananda, just as if a man seeking one entrance to a hidden treasure came to all at once upon 11 entrances to a hidden treasures, so too, while I was seeking one door to the deathless, I have come to all at once to hear of 11 doors of the deathless. Just as if a man had a house with 11 doors, and when that house caught on fire, he could flee to safety by any one of that 11 doors. So too, I can flee to safety by any one of these 11 doors to the deathless. That means this is one house, right? In this house have 11 doors. When in this house fire, so you can go away. You can any door, right? So he's going to say that. So when you have 11 doors, 11 exit, right? Exit. So you can go anyway. You can use anyway, anyone. Then go out. So you can save yourself. So, Venerable Sir, these sectarians will even seek a teacher's fee for their teacher. You are my good teacher. I have to acknowledge to you. I have to give you something special. You know? So he was thinking that, why shouldn't I make an offering to the Venerable Ananda? Because he learned all the jhanas, Brahma Vihara. I have to give you something. Then the householder Dasama of Atthakanagara assembled the Sangha of monks from Pataliputta and Visali. Sangha means community. 1 monk, 2 monks, 3 monks. We don't say Sangha. We call Pugala. Pugala means ordinary. Ordinary monks, you know. Sangha, when 4 monks one place, 4 to up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we call Sangha. So there are 2 kinds of Sangha. One is the lay Sangha, another one is the monastic Sangha. So according to the Vinaya discipline rule, so when 4 monks will be present here, so we say Sangha. So he said, they assembled a Sangha of monks from Pataliputta and Visali. He invited the Sangha, more than 4 monks. And with his own hands, he served and satisfied them with various kinds of good food, delicious food. You know, very, very delicious. So I am very fortunate, I am very lucky. You know, I live in New York. People invited me every Saturday, Sunday, every day, a lot of food. You know, sometimes I cannot eat. See, I no, don't give me. I put my hands like that because they really, really want to offer you. My people like for serving, you know, but here you have to take yourself. Okay, Bhante, please take this one. You know, I work very hard. I really make it special for you. Please take a little bit. No, I don't want. Okay, please take it. They'll push you. You know. So he presented a pair of clothes to each monk. So pair of clothes means upper robe, and this one is called. There is another robe here. It's called lower robe. Okay. So here one set. It's a pair of cloths or robes to each monk. Every monk he offered to one set. And he presented a triple robe to the Venerable Ananda, a special. So what does mean the triple? Upper robe, lower robe, another one is called outer robe. We put here. When you get the high ordinations, you must have it. So how many? 3, right? So he donated, he offered to Ananda triple robes. And he had a dwelling worth 500 crore built for the Venerable Ananda. So 1 crore equal to 10,000 pieces of gold. So Ananda was very lucky. He got a big temple, you know, So you're not lucky. I'm not lucky. I bought myself. I spent. I bought the house 355 in New York. 300,000, 355,000. I'm unfortunate monk, right, David? So he was very lucky. So see, only one Dhamma talk. He got triple robes and big monastery. So he stayed there. He lived there, right? So this is the sutta for today, 52, Atthakanagara Sutta, right? Okay. So do you have any question? You can ask me now. So if you don't ask me, I will understand that you understand all the jhanas, right?
Sure, David.
Okay, go ahead.
So it seems like the desire for Dhamma and delight for Dhamma is a thing. So what is desire for Dhamma? What is
Desire, as I said in my talk, when you have little bit craving, just little bit.
craving for what?
Little bit craving means you have little bit delusion there. Little bit delusion. As I said, when greed, hatred destroy.
So Dhamma,
Only delusion he didn't mention there. Did he mention? Did he? No. So you'll have little delusion there. Because of that, you will attain anagami, but will not attain arahant. So when you destroy greed, hatred, and delusion, that means you are arahant, right? So you have to understand, when someone attain anagami, you'll see you speak differently to him to make him angry. Okay, I have to judge him whether he attained anagami or not. So you can use the harsh speech, or you can say something that is not proper. See, if you say immediately angry, that means he is not anagami. He is not anagami person. And how do you know someone get arahant? How do you understand? Sutta number 112 from Majjhima Nikaya. You read that sutta. Let me give you one example. At Dhamma Sukha, one guy came here for practice meditation. Everybody sleeping. He came here. He is practicing. He said, "Don't disturb me. I want to stay alone. I practice. He came here for 10 days or maybe 8 days, this center. So retreat finished. He want to leave. David, I want to leave. Okay, well, so he took him to the airport. So he went to the Farmington. I think maybe he passed the Farmington. He said, "Go back, Dhamma Sukha." Hey, what happened? What happened? David said, "What happened? What? You want me to go back, Dhamma Sukha?" "Yes, go back, Dhamma Sukha." "Tell me, what happened?" "I became arahant now." "Okay, that's fine." David said, "That's fine." Okay. Okay. Then he was angry. He said, "I already drive to 2 hours, and then now you are saying to return back to Dhamma Sukha?" Okay. Again, brought him here. David go to the Bhante. "Bhante, the guy who want to leave, I took him on to the airport. He said, 'Go back, Dhamma Sukha.' Okay, I brought him here. What should I do now?" "Okay, call everyone. I'm coming to give Dhamma talk." Okay. Everybody came, and Bhante opened the sutta number 112. "Okay, I'm going to read this sutta. You have to answer. I'm going to ask the questions, you have to answer." Okay, he read. Okay, do you have this experience? Do you? He said, no. You are not Arahant. Finish. So what you have to do? You have to understand Sutta number 112. And second thing, you have to stay with that monk or that person at least 5 months. You have to see how he's walking, how he's behaving, how he's talking, how he's eating. All the time you have to stay with him at least 5 months. If little bit anger arises, he's not Arahant anymore. So you know, because the sutta is here already. You have to study and understand it. You got it? Okay, next.
It was family. As soon as he asked him, do you have any feelings left for your family? He says, yes. You're not an Arahant.
Oh, I see. I see. I forgot that. I forgot that. So this example I give all the time when I give the Dhamma talk in New York, when we have the retreat. So I give, most of the time I give this example, you know.
So what prompted him to think he's an Arahant?
Oh, he had a lot of experiences. Cabin 11. He'd be there all night just meditating. You know, it sounded like things were happening. But then the rest of the story was, after, I don't know how long it was, a few days, he was here and we were looking at him, and he got his flight to the airport, and then we went to the airport, and he left all his luggage and forgot things and got home and ship all his stuff back to him. We never heard from him again. It's the weirdest thing.
This is the good things, yeah. So that's why you have to have knowledge about the sutta, and also you have to have experiences. Don't believe what others said. So some people, just listen. Okay, that guy become Arahant, he become Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. Try to understand yourself. I don't believe. That's why some monks, they don't like me, because I am very practical. My mom was very pious, very religious. I am the youngest in my family. We are 5 brothers. I am the number 5. So he took me many Buddhist ceremony, because she is very religious lady, Okay, son, my son, go. We want to go. We have the one Buddhist ceremony over there. This temple, that temple, this temple, that temple. She went everywhere. She took me there. So that time I don't know about Buddhism, because I was the science student. I studied chemistry, biology, mathematics, all those things. I don't have any idea about Buddhism that time, So when she took me many religious places, she believed what the monk said. Okay, monk said this one, we should follow this. That monk said that one, we should follow this. Well, because she is my mom, I have to follow, And then when I finished the higher secondary education, higher secondary certificate, we call intermediate. Then I went to Burma for studying Buddhism. So I got a scholarship from International Theravada Buddhist Mission University in Myanmar. So I studied there about 3 years. They taught me Buddhist scripture. Vinaya, discipline rules, Suttanta, discourses of the Buddha, and Abhidhamma is called the philosophical thinking, So all those teaching they taught us at the university. And I was thinking about my mom. What did she do in the past? She took me many, many places. And after, I think, 6 or 7 years, I went back to my country. Because I went to from Burma, after finishing my educations, diploma in Buddhism, bachelor in Buddhism, I went to Thailand for studying my master degree. And I studied at Dhamma, Chulalongkorn Buddhist University. So I finished the master degree there in Buddhism, in Buddhist studies. So I returned back to my country. My mom is still doing the same thing. And I said, wait a minute, you should not do this one. I said, why? No. This is not the right things. Before you taught me, now I teach you. You should listen to me now. This is the right things what I am saying to you. Mom, you should listen to me. Okay, well. But still he thinks that this is my son. Still she doesn't listen to me. Okay, let me explain another practical story during the Buddha's time. The Sariputta, who was the chief disciple of the Buddha. Sariputta was 10 years older than Buddha. He was very intellectual monk. Very intellectual monk. So, he went, the Moggallana went to the one monk. So, the 5 ascetic, the last one is Asaji. So, he was practicing meditation under the tree. He was very calm, very quiet, very gentle. The Moggallana saw from far away, and he went to him. Venerable Sir, I saw you were practicing meditation. Who is your teacher? He said, Gautama Buddha. He just heard that word. Okay, how do you practice meditation? Can you tell me? Yeah, my teacher Gautama Buddha taught me you have to practice like that, you have to practice like this. Whenever you are walking, you have to be aware of it, you have to be mindful of it all the time. He just heard that word and he understood Dhamma. He became a spiritual person, He became a stream mantra. And then that message, when he returned back to the Sariputta, Moggallana said, okay, I made one ascetic today. His name is Asaji. And I questioned him. And he answered very well. So whatever he learned from Moggallana, from Asaji, Moggallana said to the Sariputta. Sariputta became a stream mantra. So both of them decided to go to see the Buddha. So they went to the Buddha, and Buddha gave Dhamma talk, and they became, they understood all the teaching of the Buddha. And they requested to me, Venerable Sir, please ordain us. We want to be monk. And both of them become Buddhist monk. They got a high ordination. Then they practice meditation. Moggallana attained arahantship, and he got the psychic power. He can go everywhere. He can fly everywhere. Moggallana. So the other disciples didn't attain that. So Sariputta, one day Buddha was giving a Dhamma talk. A lot of people listening to his Dhamma talk. Venerable Sariputta is just fanning. You see, like this. And he experienced that, wow, Buddha is giving Dhamma talk to the people. So I'm going to answer your question again. He doesn't have any craving, even he is in his Dhamma talk. When he understood that, Sariputta became Arahant. Even he was fanning. That time, he attained Arahantship. So now both of them Arahant. Moggallana Arahant and Sariputta also attained Arahantship. Sariputta's mom always practiced righteous rituals. She never practiced meditation. Even though her son already Arahant, she doesn't listen to him. She thinks, oh, he's my son, why I have to follow him? No. But Sariputta understood, I have to help her to attain noble person. So she always do some offering or respect to the deities. She never see the deities, but still she is doing. Go to under the tree. Okay, oh deities, I offer to you. Please take it, and then bow 3 times. That's it. She's doing that. Sariputta said to him, "Stop doing." She doesn't listen. And Sariputta want to attain nibbana. I mean, he's going to pass away. So before passing away, he went to Buddha. He said, "Buddha, please allow me. I want to pass away." Okay, I allow you. You can go now. So after getting permission from the Buddha, Venerable Sariputta is going to his kuti, and he also said to his mom, "Mom, I am going to pass away to Mahaparinibbana tonight, so please come and see." Okay. All the deities, thousand deities, they prepare bed for him. They decorated around his place so beautiful and lighting everywhere. So his mom came. He said, "Wow, there's a lot of deities here. I did a lot of respect, offering to the deities before. I never see that. And all those deities respecting my son." And when she saw that, she attained Sotapanna. She attained Sotapanna there. You see, that's why, when you know Buddhism, especially family people, they don't want to listen. Because he's my brother, he's my son. That in that way. But later on, you see, the Buddha, when he became enlightenment, at first, so Ananda was the cousin of the Buddha. At first, he helped the family members. Yesterday I was talking with him because he thought that he will get ordinations, and I told him, "You have to get a permission from your wife, otherwise I'm not going to ordain you." And he sent message to his wife, "I am going to ordain, what do you think?" And his wife said, "Okay, well, you can You can do it. Why? Because during the Buddha's time, he left royal palace. He practiced meditation 6 years and he became enlightenment. He attained enlightenment. And then Nanda, his brother, he loved one beautiful girl, you know. So Buddha went for alms round. He said, Nanda, okay, take my alms ball. And then he's walking, going to the monastery. He never back. He never see him. So Ananda took the alms ball, going, following him, and went to the temple. And Nanda said, Bhante, I want to go back home. Why? What happened? So I didn't want to get the higher ordination here. I didn't want to be monk because I love one girl. She's very beautiful. Really? Yeah. Then Buddha used his psychic power. In his psychic power, more beautiful than his girlfriend. Okay, your girlfriend beautiful or those girl are beautiful? Oh, those are more beautiful than my girlfriend. Really? Yeah. Okay. Then he used his psychic power again. So more beauty is going to dry, impermanence is going to dry. You see, his whole body, his beauty is going to fade away slowly. Okay, look at there. And actually he is using his psychic power there, you know, to understand Dhamma. And when her beauty fade away and he could see a skeleton, then Buddha said, Nanda, do you want that? No. I don't want anymore. Then, in his mind, he understood everything is impermanent. What is impermanent? That is suffering. And there is non-self. He experienced that and he requested, Bhante, I want to be monk. Please allow me. Then he became monk. But in the family, his father, King Suddhodana, was very angry. He said, you left royal palace. And I was thinking that Nanda would be king. You took him and he also got ordinations. And then one day, the King Suddhodana invited the Buddha, the royal palace. So Buddha with his monks went to the Sakkya's Kapilavatthu. And Buddha used his alms ball. He went for collecting food. For alms round, we call in English. In Pali, we call Pindapata. Collecting food. Because every monk have to go for alms round. When I was in Thailand, I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and 5 o'clock it's still dark. I wear cover, robe, and then take the alms ball, went for alms round. People are ready to offer. So in Thailand they say Nimon Kap. The lepers, especially men, those who are men, they said Nimon Kap. And those who are women, they said Nimon Ka. Very sweet, So Nimon Ka, that means Bhante, I am inviting you. Please come to me. I want to offer the food to you. Then I go to her and open the alms, the alms bowl, and they offer the rice there, and they offer the curry in my back. Then they sit down with Anjali, left and right hand joined together. You have to bless them. Because Buddha already said in the sutta, you must bless them when somebody offers something to you. Right? So if you don't bless them, they'll be very angry. Then after blessing, then she will go away or he will go away. She never see the back where monk is going. So that one is called, when you donate something, not give and take. Some people give and they expect something back. This is not the donation. This is not the giving generosity. So you give something, okay, let it go. You should not keep in your mind. Okay, because of this donation, I gained a merit. That's all. You know. So, I don't know what I am talking about. So, do you have any questions? If you have any questions about all the jhanas, you can ask me now.
So, when you are in the first 4 jhanas, how do you really know that you are a soul? You attain soul?
You are talking about jhana, or you are talking about the noble path?
No, the
Jhanas, right? That's as I told you. You have to know the, if you know, you have to know the 5 hindrances first and then 6 shirts. So first you must memorize 5 hindrances. What are the 5 hindrances? You have to be very clear in your mind. Keep one side. And then harmonious practice 6 shirts, put another side. So it's here already, right? So when you know 5 hindrances, anyone arise, use the 6 shirts immediately. Anyone arise. Then another thing you have to know when you attain the first jhana, there are 5 factors there, 5 characteristics. Thinking thought, examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. It arises very quickly, one by one, one by one, one by one. 5 hindrances not there, absent. Then you will understand, I attain already first jhana. It's already in the sutta, it's very clear. Same thing, second jhana also say, second jhana. So your question is the first jhana or second jhana or third jhana or fourth jhana?
No. When you mentioned when you get when you attain first jhana.
Okay. Yeah, I already answered. You got it.
You can also, you have the potential to reach
Nibbana? Exactly. So if you continue, you attain the first jhana, if you practice continuously there, it has potential to attain Nibbana immediately. Who knows? You may attain first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. The base of infinite consciousness is space, the base of infinite consciousness, the base of nothingness, the base of neither perception nor non-perception. And maybe you attain Sotapanna. Who knows? Sotapanna, Sakadagaya, Managami, and Arhat.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it may happen some people very quickly. If you have a lot of perfection, we call him Pali Parami. In the past life, if you do a lot of good things, good activities, keep the precept, giving generosity, practice meditation even in the past life. And when you reborn in this human world, just practice a few times and then you become Arahant. Let me give you another example. During the Buddha's time, 500 lay people went to the Sariputta. Sariputta gave the Dhamma talk to them. They were listening very respectfully, pay attention to him. And they understood Dhamma well. After that they went to the Buddha. The Buddha gave another talk. They became Arahant. All the 500 people. become arahant. And they got the higher ordination. And lay people were talking, what is going on? What happened to them? Within short time they became arahant. And they asked the Buddha, Buddha, how those 500 monks within short time become arahant? Could you explain me, please? Explain us. Then Buddha said, in the past life, in one cave, the 500 Pacceka Buddha were living there in the cave. In the morning, every early morning, they were chanting Abhidhamma. We call Patthana. So in Patthana we have the 5 books. So number 5 is called Patthana. It's called conditional things, So those are the 5 lay people, lay person. They, I don't know how to say in English, that they became David, I think some people said that the coronavirus came from the one animal. Do you remember? What is that? How to say that? Birds, right? Bat, right? Bat. So they became bat. All those 500 disciples, they were become bat. So they were listening what the 500 Pacceka Buddha recited. They didn't disturb Pacceka Buddha. Very attentively, mindfully listen. Because of that merit. And this life, they became human being. And they came to the Sariputta, listen Dhamma talk. And Dhamma Chakku, we call. The eye of the Dhamma arose to them. And they went to the Buddha. Buddha gave another talk. They became arahant within short time. I think you got the answer. Right? Yes.
You said, is there a sutta you said where you said if a person becomes an arahant?
Yeah, sutta number 112.
Within 7 days they have to.
Oh no! If you, no, I'm not talking that. The qualities of the arahant. There are many qualities. So if you read that sutta, whatever have the knowledge is explained there. So if you have all those knowledges, when you practice meditation, you attain that all the knowledges. So you'll think that you attain arahant already. You'll think yourself. I'm talking that only.
Do you do concentration jhana?
This is the good question actually. You'll see many scholars, they translated jhana means concentration, jhana means sustain something, they translated different way. I don't use that word. I use the stage of meditation, which is the level of understanding. So this is very practical, that one. So concentration, that word came actually from the who written down Atthakanagara commentary. So during the Buddha's times, during the fourth Buddhist council, that one is held in Sri Lanka. The first Buddhist council, second Buddhist council, and third Buddhist council held in India. And during the fourth Buddhist council, the king of the Sri Lanka, he was thinking, the monk will forget Dhamma. So during that time also there were arahant. So I have to organize fourth Buddhist council. And those who attained Arahant, those who were Arahant, because all Dhamma is in their memory. So he invited all those monks. Okay, you recite it, and then written down during the 4th Buddhist Council in Sri Lanka. This happened after 500 years. The Buddha passed away. And that time, whatever they written down, all the sutta are very pure. It's original teaching. But of course, if you read the Majjhima Nikaya, 2 sutta are not the correct translation. I forgot the number, so I have to figure it out. So 2 sutta, just little bit mistranslation. And all sutta are good. 152 suttas, 150 sutta perfect, and 2 suttas little bit complicated, little bit is controversial. And so that time, after 100,000, the Buddha passed away. The commentary written down. So what is the meaning? Main text and commentary. Evam me sutang. Who said that? Where? Which place? Why? They explain detail. So they are commentator. But in the sutta said only evam me sutang finish. But those who are commentator, evam me sutang, this one said by Ananda during Buddhist Council, and then he was in Sutapanna, blah 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 something. So they are commentator. So some of them, they didn't practice meditation. They just a scholar. So they used concentration. They also written down one book is called Path of Purification, Visuddhimagga. That one written by commentator. So in that book, you'll find concentration. So I use, instead of concentration, collectedness. I don't use that word. I used collectedness. Your mind is collected, calm. So I use that one. You got it?
Yes, and I guess my question was more towards the fact that some of the monks practice concentration, samadhi, meaning that they are aware of the environment around themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. It's up to them, maybe. Even me, I didn't understand before what is the meaning of concentration. It's become clear after coming here. So from that time, I stopped using that word. So you see, in this country, around the world, people, the different teachers, they have different experiences, different explanation. So you have to think, this one I should accept or not. That one I should accept or not. This one I should accept or not. So you'll decide. So you listen to first and then practice it. So that way you can understand. It becomes very clear to you. Right? Any question? No more, right? Wow. Everybody become enlightened today.
Thanks to you.
Right?
Thanks to you.
Okay, if no question, I think we can share the merit, right? Okay, let us share the merit. May suffering ones be suffering free, and their freest act fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share in this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensations. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.